The HD Show on ESPN 97.5. Presented by Tom Peacock Cadillac. Here's Fred Davis and Henry Thomas.
All right, welcome back in. This is the HD Show. Fred and Henry, ESPN 97.5. And without further ado, joining us here, what is the hotline called? I know there's got to be a name for it. Do we know? It's the ESPN 97.5 hotline. And as part of our first show, we're very pleased to have one of the best at what he did in both college and the NFL. And a lot of people forget about that. You see him now talking a little college football on ESPN and played with my man right here, Henry Thomas, Mr. Robert Smith. Mr. Smith, how are you on a Monday night?
Good. How you guys doing?
Oh, man, we're unbelievable. You know, I hope you like that little intro. I know you remember those guys.
Yeah, you know, as a matter of fact, I went and saw them down here. You know, I'm down here in Houston now.
Yes, I know.
And I saw them when they were down here. I guess it would have been about a year and a half ago or so.
Okay.
But yeah, I still talk to Steve Gorman, the drummer. But I thought you might bring me into some Screaming Trees or something, man.
This is the one I remember the most. He and I went to this concert and got to hang out with these guys after their concert up in Minneapolis.
Who, the Screaming Trees?
No.
Oh.
Black Crows. The Black Crows.
I'm loving it, man. No, that was good. I liked it. I liked the little shout out for the Black Crows.
Oh yeah, so got to keep those guys in mind because I mean it was a great time and those guys are great. They're a great band and they're part of my rotation all the time.
Absolutely, you got to pull them out at the gym, man.
Yes. So first off, how's the knee? I know you're recovering from a little knee incident.
Yeah, you know it wasn't really anything severe. I just had a little bit of cartilage that was ripping off in there, you know. And as we get older, we were talking about this earlier today, man. You know,
yeah.
The injuries that you have during your career, sometimes in retirement, they kind of rear their ugly head. But it wasn't too bad. I had surgery about 2 months ago, and feeling good now. I stay away from running though. I just get on the elliptical and get on that bike.
Yeah, that's my favorite too, the elliptical. I don't do any running. And you said you had a little cartilage. Boy, I wish I had a little cartilage in any of my knees at this time.
Well, you know, Ohio State performed the first artificial meniscus implant about a month and a half ago, so maybe you'll be a candidate for that.
Well, if you give me the heads up or vouch for me, maybe I'll do it.
There you go.
All right.
Better than a knee replacement.
Yes. Let me ask you this. I know you're getting ready for the college season coming up. Who's your sleeper team for the college national championship?
For the national
I need a sleeper
we got to say playoff. We can't say the national championship.
Let's say playoff.
Yeah. To make the playoff, I'm going to say Georgia Tech is my sleeper team. You know, Justin Thomas, their quarterback. Obviously, they run a triple option system, and Paul Johnson does a great job. He's actually recruited pretty well here over the last few years. Justin Thomas can actually throw the football. Threw for 1,600 yards a year ago, ran for 4 touchdowns against a really good Mississippi State team in the bowl game last year. And plus the rest of the conference has a lot of changeover. You know, Florida State, Clemson, Louisville, you got a lot of teams changing over. So I think they got a good shot to kind of sneak in there.
Robert Smith, your NFL veteran, former Ohio State Buckeye, joins us here on the HD Show. And let me ask you this. When you look at your boy Urban Meyer and what he's done at every stop along the way. And listen, I know we like to talk about Nick Saban and what he's done, and there's no shame in his game at all and what he's been able to do. But just, do we give enough credit to just how good Urban Meyer is? I mean, nobody thought that, first of all, nobody gave the Big Ten any love going into the season. And secondly, I mean, you know, they were a fringe team going into the playoffs, and then to just dominate the way they did. What is it about Urban Meyer that makes him such a good coach?
Belief.
Okay.
I think players believe in what Urban Meyer is telling them and the structure that he has put in place. And you have to remember, this is a guy with a psychology degree from the University of Cincinnati, so he knows a little bit about communicating to people. And obviously, Hank, you know this extremely well. If the message isn't sincere, then the players don't absorb it, and the players don't live it. Well, the message is sincere from Urban Meyer. He truly, genuinely cares about these guys. But they also know that he knows how to coach. And so they have belief in him. And when you talk about early last season, they lose to Virginia Tech earlier in the year. The team could have folded right there. Then, of course, you lose J.T. Barrett, who was a backup before the season started, and then Braxton Miller goes down in the preseason, and then J.T. Barrett goes down, and then Cardale Jones has to step in. So all of these pieces, all of these things happen, but one thing remained constant, and that was Urban Meyer, the message, and the system. And so the guys bought in, they got better all year long, and did what pretty much nobody except for those guys in the locker room thought they'd be able to do.
Robert Smith joining us here on the HD show. And so when you look at what they're going into this year, I mean, how surprised were you when you saw that Braxton Miller decided to stick around? I mean, you got three guys that are all starting caliber. You got Cardale Jones, who was a third-string quarterback and wins a national title. How surprised were you that all three of those guys decided to stay?
I wasn't surprised at all. Those guys love Ohio State for very good reason. They love Urban Meyer. And they went there because they wanted to compete. Why would they want to stop competing? Because the other guys had done well. People saying, why wouldn't Braxton Miller get out of there? I'll tell you why. Because Braxton Miller didn't become Braxton Miller thinking that somebody was better than him. Now, me personally, because he's not going to be playing quarterback at the next level, I think he needs to get ready for some sort of hybrid-type position. He's one of the best true runners that I've seen, period, let alone at the quarterback position. He's just a truly gifted runner. He's not going to play quarterback in the NFL, so I think he should make that transition. I think J.T. Barrett is that guy that's a mixture. He can throw, he can run. Cardale Jones, obviously the best passer of them. But I don't think any of them is scared of the competition, and they all think that they're going to end up, after camp, being the number one guy.
Well, you speak about pure runners and being the great athletes. When it comes down to like the running back position, especially in the NFL, when you came out, when you played, I felt like the running back position was a sought after position. You wanted a quality guy. I see now in the NFL, do you feel like it's changing where the guys are like, well, he's a running back, he's only going to be around for 2 or 3 years, we're going to get 2 or 3 guys? That's the way I feel like the whole NFL is changing. I mean, you see how far down the running backs are getting drafted and so on and so forth.
Yeah, but I think what you saw this year, it just depends on the crop of guys. I think it's the easiest position, number one, to make the transition. So you can get a lot of guys that are going to be ready to play. So you can get guys even in the 3rd and 4th round that will be able to play, and as long as they can pick up their protections, they're all right. But once in a while, you come across some special guys. And I think you saw, with the first rounders this year, you talk about Todd Gurley, you talk about a guy like Melvin Gordon, and they felt that those backs were worth taking a chance on. And so I think, obviously, we throw the ball, or the NFL throws the ball a lot more now, but it's not that running backs are an afterthought. You just need a special guy, I think, with the prevalence of passing in the NFL. You just need a special guy there to justify taking a first-round pick.
Robert Smith, former Minnesota Viking and Ohio State Buckeye, joining us here on the HD show. You mentioned a special guy. Well, you've got something very similar in common with a special guy up in Minnesota right now. And what I mean by that is he plays running back for the Minnesota Vikings, that being Adrian Peterson. Just how do you think that whole situation has played out from both the Minnesota side, from Adrian Peterson's side, and moving forward? I mean, we're talking about 13 million greenbacks on the table here. Is he going to end up playing with the Vikings when it's all said and done?
He will end up playing with the Vikings, and I think with that series of tweets that he had last week, he was expressing some frustration. Obviously, the OTAs are going on right now. He's not there, so he's going to press on that. But when he has to show up, he's too much of a competitor not to show up. That's the way I see it. He's going to want to get into camp. He's going to realize that they're not trading him. He's not going to play anywhere else. So he might as well just go in and play. I don't think that they're going to redo his deal. He's too old to get the type of money that he's going to be getting. Well, this year it's almost $13 million, and I think it might go up by 15 or 16 in the year 2016. He's not going to get more of that money guaranteed. It's just not going to happen. He's 30 years old already. Obviously, as a running back, as you get above that 30, that 30 landmark, that the running back's body is taking a pounding and going to be slowing down a little bit. So he's going to realize, I'm not going to get the guaranteed money I want for 2016. I'm not going to get traded anywhere else. I want to still play. I want to still compete. He'll be right there in Minnesota toting that rock.
Do you think that? And so, with the money being set, with the money you're talking about, and obviously what he's got coming to him, I mean, you've got a young roster. All right, and you just traded for Mike Wallace, who's been, I don't want to say he's been a malcontent, but he's been underwhelming towards the end of his Steelers career, and then Steelers stay, and he was very underwhelming in Miami. But you've got a Cordell Patterson that you're expecting big things out of. You got a Teddy Bridgewater. With such a dynamic that way, where you've got such a combination of young and old. Does he fall in line and keep that, fall in line and keep that locker room straight? Because this is a team that, played good at times last year, and with with everything going well, could surprise some people this year.
I think they really are going to surprise people, and it's not a homer call either. I genuinely think Minnesota is going to surprise some people. And one guy you didn't mention, there was a 5th-round draft pick this year out of Maryland, Stephon Diggs. That kid can play. He's not a very big receiver, got hurt there when he was at Maryland, but he is a real player, an explosive guy. I think Cordell Patterson is starting to see he's got to learn to play the receiver position in the NFL at a different level. You got to learn the routes. You have to be a consistent performer, and he's certainly athletic enough, but I think that's going to be the difference for him. And then you talk about Mike Wallace. He's an explosive guy. Teddy Bridgewater, he surprised a lot of people. He didn't surprise me. I thought he was the steal of the draft a year ago. Really excited to see what he can do this year. Mike Zimmer, he's known for the defensive side of the ball. They're playing better defensively. They've got Trey Waynes out of Michigan State playing a little bit of quarterback. I think this is a team that's really got a lot of great pieces together. And I think Adrian, once again, he's a competitor as much as anybody I've ever seen. That's just the guy's attitude. He runs with an absolute fury, and I think that he competes with an absolute fury. And when he gets all the off-field stuff straightened out, which I think he will, he'll just realize that that's water under the bridge. He's going to get on that field. He's going to play. He's going to be an important part of a team that I think is going to make it to the playoffs.
All right, left field question, last one of the night for you. I'm a Jayhawk grad, love my Jayhawks. I know we're a lot better in basketball than we are in football. David Beatty, all right, this guy's a grinder. Do we win at least 3 games this year in the Big 12?
Will they be dangerous in the Big 12?
No. I know the answer to that. I'm saying, will we win 3 games? I'm saying,
will we win 3 games?
3 games. All he's asking for is 3 games.
Okay, will Kansas win 3 games?
Yes.
Or 3 games in the Big 12?
Just period. Just give me 3 games. I'm not picky. I just want 3 games. Just give me 3 wins this year.
I think 3 games is doable. Kansas surprised some people last year. Remember the game against TCU?
Yeah.
Where they really rose up?
Hell yeah, we did.
Yeah, I mean, got a little bit of talent there, but let's see, Iowa State. Let's see, maybe West Virginia's had a lot of talent. They're going to win 2 Big 12 games.
There we go. I like where your head's at, Robert. I like where your head's at. Remember, David Beatty, Kansas Jayhawks. You heard it here first. They're not on your radar yet, but remember, they will be when it's all said and done.
Rock Chalk Jayhawks.
That's it, baby. There you go. Not bad for a Buckeye. Hey. Great stuff from you, Mr. Smith.
Thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
And Robert,
man, and then we'll take care of the important stuff here soon. We got to get out and swing them golf clubs.
Absolutely.
Oh, real quick, by the way, and this is why we brought you on, fanhealthnetwork.com. Henry and I, we like to get out. We like to work out. Tell us a little bit about it.
Oh, yeah, Fan Health Network. It's an app for Android and for Apple. And basically what we're doing is we're trying to use the excitement that people have for their favorite team, their favorite school, their favorite athletes to live a healthier life. So we've got current and former athletes on there. We've got some great prizes that people can win by demonstrating that they're living a healthy life. So download the app, join the challenge. Right now the challenge that's going on is going to go on for another 4 weeks, and the winner is going to get $25,000 and 2 tickets to the ESPYs. But the prize after that, the next one that we're going to do, it's going to be like a buddy competition. So you guys have to get on the app together, not necessarily at the same time or in the same place, but just make posts with one of your friends back and forth and encourage each other. And you can get 2 home tickets to every game of your favorite team throughout the regular season, and then the championship game for that sport. So if you're an NFL fan, you can get home tickets to the Texans, and then the Super Bowl. If you're a college football fan, you can get those tickets. NBA, whatever it is. So we're real excited about it.
Will there be a sports radio division?
Sports? Yeah, sure. Well,
will there be?
It's funny you should mention that, because Steve Gorman, the drummer from the Crows, who's now in radio, is one of the captains. And so we've got some sports personalities in there. You want to be a part of it? Let me know.
Listen, I will put Henry Thomas and I pound for pound up against any sports radio duo in this country.
Let me drop a couple pounds first. Let me drop just 1 or 2 more pounds. I'm on the way though. But absolutely, we're on.
All right, jump on, man. I look forward to seeing you on there.
All right. Well, thanks again for being here. We really appreciate it.
All right, thanks, guys. Take care.
Great stuff. That's Robert Smith, everybody. You can follow him at ESPN Robert Smith on Twitter. That's ESPN Robert Smith. We're way overdue. Coming up next, Say It Ain't So.
Say It Ain't So, baby.
The HD Show.